Like a breath of fresh air with all these bright colors I see her. Pooja Hegde, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
But I have to ask you, is anything close to this also in your personal wardrobe? Are you somebody for the yellows? Yellow, the trailer launch, red today.
Yeah.
Are you a bright color girl?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I love colors, and especially yellow, orange, any gold, red, sunset colors I love.
Wow. So unlike the blues, the whites, mauves, and the
No, but
light.
I also love my staple is olive green. I
Yeah.
love olive green.
Yeah.
I love, my current obsession is this burnt orange.
Burnt orange.
Yeah.
I hope it still looks like orange.
But it's got a little brown in it, and white, of course.
You know, this is why I say this also is
This
because,
is-
you know, visually also it looks very appealing when you see these grand magnum opus films. She only does grand magnum opus films. When was the last time you actually did like a small, when you get like, you know, some actors when they start doing very well in their careers, and that's not just here, you know, here you're still breaking out, you become a huge mega star down south, and it just got better and better. Do you still say yes to a smaller script which is great concept driven?
Of course I do, all the time. In fact, I mean, I don't think that a film is small based on the budget. I always think that you never know, where it can reach and where it's going to take you.
Yeah.
So if it's something that the girl's role is really good, or I feel like, I really connect with this person or this girl and the story, I want to tell it, then I would love to be part of it.
And then you have this one gentleman called Salman Khan, who's universally, after having seen people just, they don't get beyond the looks. Sometimes you see a person and you just get like, I know people that have just seen him this close and just said, oh shit, this is him in person.
Yeah.
You've done films with so many megastars.
Yeah.
He's really funny, he's witty, he's very naughty, and he still is at this age. But there's another side of him that is hardcore technical, understands films like possibly nobody else does, understands his market as well. At the press conference you talk about Nayo Lagta, where he said that everyone else was not really into it. I was into it, it's my film, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So there's like a bit of a connect that he has that nobody really understands.
Yeah.
You do a lot of massy films that work very well with the audiences. How do you see Salman fitting into that category with the rest of the people that you've also worked with? The connect and knowing what the audiences want.
Of course, he knows the pulse of the audience in terms of the true heart, of India, which is why when Nayo Lagda came, he was the one person who was like, nahi, logo ko acha lagega, let's bring the 90s back, let's bring, that it has that feel to it.
Yeah.
Plus it's an original song. So I think somewhere because he believed in it, we all went along, and sure enough, it was such a big hit. In fact, even like, my parents, when they saw it, they were like, their favorite song is Nayo Lagta. And we were like, oh my God, because that was the one song that...
Last on the priority list.
Yeah, we were like, if he's saying, chalo, theek hai, that kind of a thing. But of course, I think somewhere within India, we love melody. Anything that's really melodious, we tend to listen to it, something that you can sing along to, sweet lyrics, a sweet voice. So somewhere it's just connected. I mean,
how's your connection with the audiences so far? When they look at heroines, they always don't understand what to slot heroines. When you're pretty, they don't understand. Earlier, critically acclaimed or very good scripts used to not go in the traditional sense to heroines who was considered very pretty. Why? They used to say that it'll alienate half the audience.
Yeah.
In the days gone by.
Right.
Thankfully, those times have changed.
Yeah.
But is it still tougher because of the way a person looks, a heroine looks, to get the kind of scripts that you'd want?
It's tough until you do it, and then you get those roles. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, for example, when I did a film in Telugu called Mukunda, I was playing a very small town girl. And when I did that film, everyone was like, oh, Pooja is really good for D-glam, what they call D-glam. Yeah. This kind of a role, but maybe not for a glamorous role. And then I did DJ, and after DJ, people thought that, oh, she's really good for a glamorous role. So I think it's only a question mark or a no until you do it, and then it takes that one person to take a punt on you and say, you know what, I see that you fit the soul of the character. You know, not the, sometimes we're actors, we have to act things. Like
course.
sometimes when people tell me that, oh, but she's a very this kind of person, which is very different to you. I'm like, yeah, but I can act it. You know, I don't have to be all the time. I can understand it. That's the best part about being actors, is that we can learn about people's lives and kind of represent them on the screen. So I think it's only that one person who needs to take a punt on you and be like, I think let's just, you know, dive right in and try this role, and then everybody just follows if you've proven yourself.
Yeah, if it works at the box office, then of course, then be like a line. But how many of these one kind of people who take punts are now existing in the industry?
Very few.
है ना?
Very few.
Still?
Very few. Very, very few. I think it's maybe...
Because it's a financial risk, I guess, for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't it a financial risk more back then?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, it's changed, but having said that, I think OTT is giving people that platform to be able to remove box office success to films to justify whether the film is good or bad. Like I always say that a film, it doesn't mean that it's always coexistent, that a good film, you know, sometimes when you watch a film...
Yeah, if you like it, it doesn't have to make money sometimes.
No, and you don't have to. You sometimes watch a film, it was probably way ahead of its time. So when you see it, you're like, pata nahi kyun nahi chali? You know, but the film is actually so good. And sometimes you watch a film that has done so well, box office numbers, and then
and you still say, pata nahi kaise chali?
Yeah, exactly.
that actually happens more than the other one.
So I think that you need to just concentrate on telling a story. And somewhere, if the story has its own destiny and it takes its time to kind of cement itself sometimes, you know, it takes its time to ferment and grow. So you just have to do things that you think is true to you, I think, somewhere.
I mean, the biggest names, Agnipath, for me, more than Andaz Apna Apna. For me, Agnipath, I cannot understand how it never did well. And then later on, now you just watch it, just trying to like emulate that.
Yeah.
You know, coming to, you know, language-wise, you know, because I do a lot of dubbing in voicing, the expressions for different languages is very different.
Yeah.
For actors that are seamlessly going in and out of languages, dance still is similar.
Yeah.
Do you find that tough?
I mean, it's a whole other ball game. I'll tell you why. Because I think languages and words have power, right? Like if you say kwab just sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But dream is okay. You know, it has. So there's poetry in language, in words. So when I say a line, for example, मुझसे प्यार करोगे तो मर जाओगे, as compared to ना तो प्रेम विल पड़ते चस्तव. Now, Chastav is so hard hitting that it makes you emote differently. Yeah. So I think it's a very fine line, because you somehow end up making two different films because of the words that you're saying. But it's great.
Should you be paid separately for both the films?
Sorry?
Should you be paid separately for both the films? I used to happen earlier.
I mean, for sure, because it takes a lot of energy. I'll tell you, especially when you're doing an emotional scene, you've built it up, right? Or sometimes you've really felt it in that one shot.
Yeah.
Then you have to recreate it. Yeah. That's hard, you know. But at the same time, I did dub for both languages recently, for Telugu and Hindi. So it has its own magic, it has its own charm. But somewhere I feel that, like I said again, that we're kind of transcending even that now. We're learning to read subtitles and watch films and understand just the energy of somebody speaking something, but you're okay to read what he's saying, you know.
Oh, but they're working on it also. That's why Shreyas did Allu.
Yes.
Sharad has been doing it for a while. I did a film called Aladdin, which had Arman and Badshah and all of us in it. Right. And they are really looking at this voice has to match this face. The expressions have to match. I think dubbing has gone to a different level.
It's really getting better, because I think people are wanting to watch these films, you know, and they're realizing that it's been a slow growth of love that's been coming our way in terms of South films, but it's been there. It's not like it's just happened suddenly.
But for you, it must have exploded now, right? They keep talking about the South male stars. Like for Allu, it was like that. For the last 10 years, we were watching the dubbed films. But they were also watching you.
Yeah.
How's the dynamics changed for you also? You know, traveling back and forth at the airports, at the lounges.
It's been the same, but it's also been different. Of course, people recognize you more.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I'll have somebody call me Butta Bomma. That is
What a song, man. What a
Thank
song,
you.
yeah.
But it's such a big compliment that you're known by the characters you play.
Yeah.
That's such like it means that somewhere I feel that because I just went where the work is and I gave my heart into everything that I did, it's kind of coming back and I made the right decisions.
Yeah,
I've not just done one pan-India film which kind of...
Correct. You don't separate language.
I've done different languages. Even DJ, which got dubbed, in Hindi and was released online, has some 400 million plus views. Just the dubbed, right? And it keeps playing on television and stuff separately. So somewhere people are watching it. They've known you, admired you. When they see you, they feel that. Like earlier, it used to be DJ. Now it's become Butta Bomma. You know what I mean? So it's different. And
It's fun. I think you're able to reach out to such a larger audience now.
I mean, it's great.
And social media wise,
on another level
you'll realize
also.
social media wise, now when suddenly the messages change in region wise.
In different languages, or I'll suddenly have a Kerala fan club, Pooja Hegde Kerala fan club, and I'm like, wow, that's so amazing because I've not done a Malayali film, a film in that language, in the Malayalam language, but that means people are watching, they're appreciating you. It's great to be accepted by these audiences, especially when you're working in their language, to take you as one of their own. Now they say Mana Butta Bomma when they write about me. But Mana means ours.
Wow.
So that is an honor, to be honest.
It's happened with you when films haven't done well. People question, will she work here again? Now, if it doesn't work, does it really matter anymore?
No, of course it matters. Because you've put in your...
for yourself, yes. But otherwise, people around you... Because what I've seen is even if the films don't work, the producers still keep lining up now. Yahan nahi to wahan kar lenge, nahi to OTT par kar lenge. It seems like a little bit of a lottery system now for the well-established people.
No, not at all. I don't think it's... there's always two sides to everything. Me as an actor, I'd like to believe that I'm a producer's actor also. And I would like for them to, have a good experience and have... a profitable experience at the end of the day. They're in it for a business. But it does affect you as an actor because, it's your work. You leave a little bit of yourself in every film that you do. And it's so far, touch wood, it's been good. Yeah.
You've actually come out unscathed quite a bit. You talk about profitability. When you do a film with Salman Khan, on the table only there's a basic profit. How does it feel when you're doing that there? Because I remember I was speaking to a friend of mine who'd helped release Dhoom 3.
Yeah.
And I had said, I was okay with the film. He said it made 280 crores, Salil. So the people like you, very few, each person would have watched it at least a couple of times for Amir Khan's film to hit that kind of number.
Yeah.
So he said the exposure is so vast that it just changes the game. So in the Hindi film market, this exposure is the maximum. Got 4,300 screens coming and all that. Do those numbers excite you sometimes just by the sheer volume of people that will watch?
I mean, numbers are exciting in general because I like to keep track of
Oh, you do?
I do. I love it. It's kind of like a game, but it's not why I play the game. It's just a number at the end of the day. It's like someone said that it's like keeping score at a match.
Of course.
If the score's not there, what are you playing for? But you're playing because you enjoy the game, But I think it's also a great voice sometimes for what people are saying that they liked and they didn't like. And it's really nice to kind of understand how it works, what worked. I love statistics. I love...
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like to see ki kya chali, nahi chali. But so it's good. It's interesting.
When we look at these numbers also, and you're very good at stats also.
I'm not good at stats. I like to watch the trends.
So if the trend does well, does your personal remuneration trend also start to shoot up? You tell your manager, listen, it's done well now. I should pull in more numbers.
No.
How does that work? But
How does what work?
Your remuneration numbers. I always look at OTT works 10% higher. You know, one day Neena Gupta was sitting here, she said, I said, ma'am, आप तो rock कर रहे हो? नहीं यार, 3 साल का contract sign कर लिया. You know, some of them sign those kind of contracts.
Yeah.
I said, क्या बात कर रहे हो? यहाँ 10% बढ़ रहा है सिर्फ. So films has the mathematics of films for actors remuneration. Big question mark. Last 2 years, all they've done is that South, North, everywhere there's been discussions about it. You know, if a film does well, great, everyone should share this profits.
Yeah.
If it doesn't do well, then everyone should bear the pain. How does it work now? Have things got a little better?
I really don't know from where I come and my career so far. It's not been like a share profit thing. It's just so I don't know how it works.
No, but for you, if it does well, okay, right. So let's just pump it up a bit.
I let my team decide that, because if I start getting into you know, the details of it, I feel like I will not be able to do my basic job of being, you know, actually there in the scene. And I think it's not right to talk numbers and stuff. But I think that it's great that women are obviously like doing well. And it's like I said, it's only until the first person does it and then they set a trend. So it's great.
But do they come with a nice gift? Pooja, well done.
I wish,
Here's the bonus.
At least gift to de do. The film does like crores and crores of rupees.
No, it's going to happen very soon. I think transparency is sort of increasing to an extent where it's so difficult to like sort of hide these things. But I think when you're looking at this film on a Friday and you're seeing maybe these big numbers, of course with advance booking there will be, is there still that big butterfly in the stomach in the morning when you're watching your first show?
Of course, like I was just telling somebody the other day that I'm so excited, but I'm also so nervous about, because it's not like, it's a good nervousness.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, how are people going to accept this? How are they going to like it? How are they going to feel about it? And I think more than anything, because my character in the film is really good, it's really, like, she's got a sizable, you know, importance. And people so far in the trailer have spoken about it and liked it, that it makes me want people to watch more of it, you know. So I'm just like, how are they going to accept me and, you know, the comedy and whatever that is happening in the film. So that's why I'm excited.
And also the good part is not that long away. We're actually, by the time we're shooting this, we're 2 or 3 days away. And the trailer was only 2 weeks. So it's not like one of those olden times, 2 months promotion, you're waiting pretty much for it.
No, few days, we'll know.
Huge star cast.
Then we'll call each other about stats.
And those will be out there for everyone. Huge star cast. A lot of them doing their first film. They're very popular online, very popular in their various mediums. You know, how's that been navigating such a large star cast? I had trouble navigating the trailer with 20 people on stage. You know, so I can imagine what it must have been for all of you all.
Our set was much bigger than the stage that day. So we didn't have a space problem, if that's what you're worried about. But it was, it's always lovely to have different people from different walks of life, different languages, different regions meet together and participate in the same film. It's been great. It's really been lovely working with all of them. I always feel the more energy on set, the better it is sometimes. And we were all so synced also, so it was good, it was peaceful, it was great, you know.
And there's an online tsunami, because every one of them, including yourselves, you guys have these armies online, which really helps. That actually has managed to win half the game, which was started by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, started using his Instagram to promote films, and now it just works so well. Pooja, I think this is going to be a huge home run. I think the reports already say that. And even if you have a semi-home run, I think it's still going to break some massive records. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll do the stat numbers on a Monday, and I can't wait for that. That excites me. I want records to be broken. Eid, Salman coming after a long time. And there again, he also needs a desperately massive big film. Helps that Shah Rukh's had a big film also, so it's got like, you know, the trio works with the audiences. And I think that there's a lot of goodwill there because he had this brilliant cameo as well. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye. And it was lovely talking to you.